When I started using Retouch for me, I did think this would be great for professional photographers who spend a lot of time retouching. But do you know who else it's great for? Photographers who don't. Yeah, so I had the opportunity to check out Retouch for me, and shout out to Retouch for me for giving me access to a few of their AI-based intelligent plugins, editing software. You can use it standalone or integrate it as a plugin panel in Photoshop, which is exactly what I did. And hey, I do some regular retouching here and there, but I'm probably on the intermediate level in that I don't like to devote a whole heap of time and processes to getting results. And that's where Retouch for me comes in, because it's an accessible, easy to use, quick to process plugin that you can use either standalone or integrate into Photoshop to carry out intelligence AI-based retouching on your photos, which is particularly useful in cases where you're doing a lot of portraiture, family portraits, if you're doing event photography, weddings, a whole bunch of things. All types of your photography can benefit from using these plugins. Well, for me to start with, I used it on this photo here, and I tell you what, the Dodge and Burn plugin is an absolute dream. There were other great ones as well, such as Heal and Skin Tone and Portrait Volumes. The Skin Tone one is an absolute lifesaver because Skin Tone is actually one of the most challenging retouchings you can embark on, and this made it really, really quick and easy. It could not be easier to get started with Retouch for me. You simply go to retouch4.me. The website's linked in the description below. Not only that, is a link to at least 20%, it could even be more on some occasions, for you to access those plugins right now. The great thing I loved about this panel is you could select which plugins you wanted to use out of those available to you and let it process while you carried on with other tasks perhaps. For me, it took a few seconds to process. For you, if your processor or your graphics accelerator is more advanced, and by the way, you can check out the minimum operating requirements on the website, but in that case, you may get much faster processing times. The other thing is, if you don't purchase all of the modules, you can have access to those modules by using cloud retouches, and I certainly took advantages of that for things like the teeth whitening, the eye brilliance. There's a bunch of other plugins there, the mattifier, look at them all. And also recently I did have a job where I took a bunch of portraits and it made it so quick to run through. I did my basic edits and then I ran through using the Retouch for me Photoshop plugin panel, selecting the retouching I wanted to do. And for me, it was mainly Dodge and Burn, Skin Tone, Portrait Volumes is great for adding some oomph to your portraits. And so yeah, just have a look here at the plugins in use. And as you can see, it's very, very simple. You select the modules that you want, which are available to you. I suggest looking at the cloud-based retouches for starters, so you can then experiment with the modules. And once you decide on the ones that you like the most, then jump in and buy the modules. Either that, I would just say buy the Dodge and Burn module up front and the Skin Tone one. Then any of the other options, the eye whitening, the teeth brilliance, they are excellent, of course. It gets you much closer to those professional results that you're striving for. So yes, as I led in with Retouch for me, is really, really great if you spend a lot of time retouching or you're a professional photographer demanding professional results. It's a way to go, but it's also really, really great if you don't already do retouching. Retouch4.me, and shout out to them for giving me a go on some of their plugins. Cheers guys.